State leaders are looking for that answer tonight as they work to fill what could be a $1 billion hole in Tennessee's budget.
With a shortfall that steep, what will it mean for you and your family? Well, News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams is working to answer that for you. Phil.
Well, guys, under the state constitution, Tennessee must balance its budget every single year. What it will mean is that some popular budget items likely will need to be cut. And a prominent Republican lawmaker told me that may include one of the governor's pet projects.
Look at that crowd. It is going to be one heck of an evening.
Go back to April 2019 and you'll see what's happened to Tennessee's economy. The NFL draft drew thousands to downtown Nashville, attracting tourists who pay sales taxes and pumping millions of dollars into Tennessee businesses that pay taxes on their profits. But this April, it was a virtual ghost town.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be surprised that we're going to run short on revenues.
State Senator Bo Watson chairs the Senate Finance Committee, which is trying to figure out how the state can make ends meet. A recent internal analysis concludes that in the fiscal year that ends June 30th, the state is likely to come up short about $516 million.
Do you think that number is still in the ballpark?
I do.
An even greater unknown, Watson says, is next year's budget. Governor Bill Lee initially filed a $40.8 billion budget for next year, but after the crisis first hit, the legislature passed a budget of $39.8 billion, roughly the amount of this year's budget.
And I'm hearing that there may be a need to cut another $1 billion from that.
That's certainly possible. Again, some of that depends on how we're able to utilize some of the federal dollars.
Lee's finance commissioner has already ordered a hiring freeze and cut non-essential purchases.
So what we're left doing is trying to create scenarios around a difficult economic environment, but one we've never seen before.
UT economist Dr. Bill Fox advises the legislature on its budget. He says the COVID-19 economic shutdown has no historical precedent to guide lawmakers.
And you can imagine an environment in which a number of companies have had zero or very low revenues for at least, say, 2 months. And when we figure out their corporate profits tax for calendar year 20, it's going to be significantly lower than we would have thought 3 months ago or than it was in 2019.
Do you think that pay raises for state employees and teachers are on the chopping block?
I think they certainly have to be part of the discussion. It is a bit of a contradiction if we have as many Tennesseans who have had to go on to unemployment and have been furloughed for you then to turn around and be doing pay raises for state employees.
What else is on the chopping block, do you think?
I don't think I think anything that is new has to be reviewed and looked at.
What about vouchers?
I think it has to be looked at. Obviously, the administration, that's a key item to them. But I think in fairness, if you're going to look at everything, then you're going to look at everything.
Now, behind the scenes, some lawmakers are talking about possibly raising some revenues by expanding the number of businesses that are required to collect sales taxes on online sales, much like Amazon and other big companies do right now. But Senator Watson told me he's not sure that this is the time to begin talking about new revenue.